Sister TV. I'm Solange Lopes and I'm the founder of the Corporate Sister website and brand. Today I'm discussing 3 tips to restore and reclaim our energy as working women and moms. Very often when we think of restoring and reclaiming our energy as working women and moms, one of the first things we tend to think about is self-care. There are very many different forms of self-care out there, but we tend to think of the most common forms out there, from the candlelit dinner to the warm bath to the weekly massage, which are all wonderful. However, what happens is that after we've consumed these temporary forms of self-care, we tend to get back to our regular lives, our regular routines and careers, where we still find the root causes of our energy being drained and in need of restoration. So could there be more strategic and effective ways of restoring and reclaiming our energy as working women and moms that go beyond temporary forms of self-care? Here are 3 tips that may help. The first one is to try and go back and assess where we actually spend our time and energy. As busy working women and moms, there's so many hats that we wear all throughout the day that it can be difficult to really go back and look at where all of our energy is spent in between family, career, relationships, our circles, our communities, and all of the care that we distribute all around us. And that is one of the reasons why we find ourselves so drained and depleted and unable to identify the reason why we feel this way. So going back and really keeping careful track of where we spend our time and hence where we spend our energy can be particularly helpful in identifying where this energy of ours goes by looking at where our time really goes. And this is an exercise that can also be quite surprising, at least it was for me, when I realized that there were so many things I did on a day-to-day basis, half or more of which were not really quite productive and very conducive to much energy restoration, much motivation and joy. Tip number 2 is, after assessing where our time and energy is really going by keeping careful track of the way we spend our time, is to identify those tasks and activities that drain us. By looking carefully at what you do day in and day out and where you spend your time and energy, you'll be able to notice that many of the tasks and activities that you partake in are draining you instead of bringing your energy levels up. Yes, some of those tasks are tasks that you have to perform in the context of your career or in the context of the other responsibilities that you have to carry out. But the first step here is to really be able to recognize what those tasks are in order to address them adequately, which takes us to tip number 3, which is, when you identify those tasks that drain you, try to decide in between eliminating, delegating, or reframing those tasks. Again, some of those tasks are tasks that you can't really avoid, tasks that may be mandatory right now in the course of your career or in the course of your life. But even if you're not able to eliminate or delegate them, you can reframe them in a more positive light, or in a way that allows it to be less draining and more productive. So again, once you identify those tasks that tend to drain your energy levels, instead of bringing them up, pick between 3 alternatives. Either you can totally eliminate those tasks if they're not essential, or you can delegate them, again, if you can find somebody who has better skills at those tasks than you, and if you have the financial, physical, and mental ability to delegate them, do so. And the third alternative alternative is to reframe them in a more positive and or more productive light. These are some of the tips that I wanted to share with you when it comes to maybe more strategically and effectively restoring and reclaiming and taking back our energy as working women and moms that may go a bit further than the more traditional and temporary forms of self-care that we're accustomed to. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to hearing your own insights as to how you restore and reclaim your energy as a working woman and mom. Please email us at corporate@thecorporatesister. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.